Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the campus of CCBC Catonsville as the Howard Dragons take on the Richard Bland Statesmen here in a neutral site game, as the host CCBC Catonsville has the Randy Gregory Invitational going on right here as a 3-day extravaganza of great basketball, starting off with this game right here. Mark Winkle bringing you the action as the Dragons, the Road Warriors of 2023-24, continue their quest to get to the national tournament, despite the fact that they will play 29 games on the road, 0 at home, as the brand new Collard Foundation complex, still in construction on the campus of Howard Community College, was due to be ready in January of 2025, but it means that the Dragons, once again, playing all their games on the road and certainly not having many easy games on that schedule, including this Richard Bland team. The Statesmen off to a bit of a rough start so far this year, typically a really well thought of team. They've been nationally ranked over the last couple years here and there, but they're off to a 1-4 start. They lost to Camp Community College 66-62, Harcum College 79-67, and Sandhills 90-73 in their first 3 games. They did defeat Chesapeake before losing at Hartford just 2 days ago, 80-69. Leading scorer for the Statesmen, number 3, Martin Kawa, the sophomore guard out of Stafford, Virginia, stands at 6'4", 190 pounds on the roster. So good size for a guard. He is averaging 20 points per game. Able to do it inside and out, scoring 3-pointers, getting free throws, as well as getting in the paint. So certainly a player to watch. Also watching out for number 10, Larry Howell, the sophomore who's listed as a wing forward or stretch, depending on what you look at. He's averaging 13.5 points per game. For the Dragons, they're coming in with the same starters that they had in the weekend tournament at Allegheny College last weekend, as it will be Shane Taylor, Jalen Bowie, Omich Wilson, Ryan Conway, and Andrew Mills starting it up. 5 sophomores in the starting 5 for the Dragons. Emmanuel Henriquez, the leading scorer on the team, not in the starting lineup, but talking to Coach Melkinson before the game, he likes the scoring boost that Henriquez brings off the bench. Calls him instant offense, and just able to have that kind of weapon to bring off the bench is certainly a valuable asset to have on this team. Andrew Mills, second leading scorer, averaging 16 points a game. John Thomas right behind him, also coming off the bench, more points off the bench for the Dragons. He's at 11.8 points per game. And Ryan Conway, playing in just 2 games so far, he's at 10.5 points a game. For the Dragons, they come in averaging 78 points per game scored and allowing just 60 points per game. So the point margin is significant, but yet they come in with a 3-2 record, having lost at Sullivan County, the number 6 team in the nation in the preseason poll, an overtime loss at Sullivan, and then also losing to Division I powerhouse Allegheny College over the weekend in an 82-76, another great game in which the Dragons nearly pulled out the win. However, they did pick up a win over the number 3 nationally ranked Niagara County on Saturday, November 11th. A huge 69-57 win over the number 3 ranked team. So the Dragons have certainly had 5 tough games. They've also beat Monroe Community College, who's now in the national rankings. Northern Virginia won there, and a team that is looking really strong as well. So it's been 5 really tough games for Dragons, and we're expecting this to be number 6 here against this Richard Bland team. 2 teams are done warm-ups as they head back to their respective benches. Howard will officially be the home team in this neutral site game, with Richard Bland officially as the away team. Looking at the starters for Richard Bland, it's going to be number 1 guard Makai Phipps-Dedrick, We talked about Martin Kawa, number 3. Jalen Smith, number 5, listed as a forward at a 6'5" freshman out of San Antonio, Texas. Larry Howe, number 10, the 6'5" sophomore forward. And rounding out the starting 5 for the Statesmen, Tim Robinson, number 23, a 6'6" guard out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. He is a forward. So certainly a big lineup for the Statesmen. 4 of their 5 starters at 6'4" or taller. We will turn it over to the PA announcer as he will announce the starters and play the national anthem.
Before we introduce the starting lineups and coaches, a quick reminder that this event is being played under the regulations of the National Junior College Athletic Association Region 20 and the Maryland Junior College Athletic Conference. MDJUCO and NJCAA prohibit verbal or physical harassment of any student athlete, official, coach, staff, spectator, guest, or community member during today's event. Violators of these rules will be subject to removal from the CCBC Catonsville complex. We appreciate your cooperation in being good fans. Our first game this afternoon will feature the visiting Richard Bland versus Howard Community College, the home team. For your safety and the safety of our participants, please remain off the court during today's event. Restrooms are located in the hallway to the left of the seating area. Please pay attention to the announcement in the event of any special announcements. Now let's meet the starting lineups and coaches for this afternoon's game, beginning with a visiting team from Richard Bland. Starting at guard, number 1, Maki Frederick. Starting at guard, number 3, Mark Ruah. Starting at forward, number 5, Jalen Smith. Starting at forward, number 10, Larry Howell. And starting at forward, number 23, Tim Robinson. The assistant coaches for Richard Bland are Christopher Golson, Riley Heigl, and Joshua Pierce, and helping and welcoming head coach Andrew Lacey. Please welcome the visitors from Richard Bland. Now for the home team in Game 1 from Howard Community College. Starting at guard, number 2, Shane Taylor. Starting at guard, number 4, Jalen Bowie.
Howard Dragons will be in their home whites with Richard Bland in the green uniforms with the white trim.
They will be the guests on the scoreboard this afternoon.
As the two teams take the court, Howard will be going from right to left in this first half on your screen. Richard Bland from left to right in the opening half.
This afternoon, we invite you to relax and enjoy an afternoon of basketball as we open the Randy Gregory Mixer Tournament.
Andrew Mills with the red and blue mismatched shoes at midcourt. Certainly a fashion statement that I can't argue with. It looks fantastic from here. And he will get the opening tip-off as he will pass it immediately to Ryan Conway. Conway to Mills. This is Shane Taylor. Omich Wilson gets it at the top of the key. Richard Bland playing in a tight man-to-man defense right off the bat. The Dragons trying to get inside of the perimeter and not able to do so. Now they will. Bowie from the free throw line, claiming that he got hit on the play, but the ball is thrown away. Bowie with the air ball, but Richard Bland just gives it right back, and Howard gets a second chance at the possession. You can see the Dragons were struggling a little bit to get inside that three-point arc. The size of Richard Bland just getting themselves big makes it difficult for Howard to get that pass inside. They'll go right into Taylor. Dishes it back off, but Bowie had not established himself back in play, as he will have a bit of a wry smile for his teammate. Howard puts on the 1-2-2 full court press right off the bat. Richard Bland will be able to get through it. If this is Tim Robinson, finds Kolkawa. Inside, what a dish, and the layup is good. Larry Howell gets the first points of the game as Diedrich was able to get to the baseline and find Howell right in the middle for the easy layup. Pass across the court. Mills gives that one away. Fast break for Richard Bland. The Statesman, good pass, 1-2, and that's going to be Jalen Smith putting it in as Robinson put in that extra pass to get through. Howard gives it away again. Another dunk, and Dragons are just off to an atrocious start in this one. Uncharacteristic turnovers for the Howard. And you can see that the Dragons are already going to be putting in wholesale subs, 5 subs waiting at the bench, as Coach Smelkinson not happy with how these first 2 minutes have started out. Mills. He'll try to just turn and jumper, and this time he knocks it in. Andrew Mills gets the Dragons on the board. Pass across once more as the Statesmen break the press. Diedrich inside. Tough layup, contested, falling away. Robinson just throws it as he's falling to the ground, and nobody touched it. It will be Howard possession. And just like that, we will see 5 new Dragons take the court. It will be Harshman, Jaden Johnson, John Thomas, Emmanuel Enriquez, and Arthur Roche taking the court as the entire starting 5 for Howard goes to the bench. Johnson. Jaden Johnson, the point guard out of Prince George's. That's Enriquez taking the shot and off the rim. Johnson was the Prince George's High School Player of the Year last year out of Dr. Henry A. Wise High School. And that is Harshman that's called for the foul.
Harshman is first, team's first.
Harshman, the younger brother of Howard star forward Cole Harshman from the last couple years.
Larry Howell makes the first score. Richard Bland shoots one more.
Colin considered the better shooter of the two, depending on who you ask. Much more of a three-point threat, as both go down for Howell, and Howard finds themselves down 8-2 early on. We'll see a full court press for the Statesmen as well, a similar setup, a 1-2-2, and they will drop it back. Statesmen seem a little confused on defense right now. now matching up. Roche is able to drive inside. Tough layup, no good, but he gets his own offensive rebound and tips it back in. Roche puts it in. Arthur Roche redshirted for Howard last year. The 6'4" freshman, and that's turned over. Johnson going the other way, blocked off the backboard. What a track back by Makai Diedrich. Going the other way is the Statesman, and Thomas is forced to foul Robinson. Johnson went up just perhaps a little bit lackadaisical on that layup attempt, and it was swatted away. And you see that the Statesmen like to use fast pace as well, looking to push it every chance they get against these Dragons. First free throw up and good for Robinson. Robinson comes in a 50% free throw shooter and hits them both. Johnson takes control. Fies Enriquez at the elbow. Thomas trying to turn the corner. Has to pass it off. Enriquez, fadeaway jumper. And, it almost got the friendly roll. It hit off the rim a couple of times, but ultimately stayed out of the net. Diedrich. Johnson tried to pick his pocket from behind. Offensive rebound, goes right back up with it, is Smith. And no good on that as well. Roche with the rebound. Roche drives in. Good sidestep and is able to put it in. Arthur Roche puts in some much needed energy for this Howard offense. Pass across, Roche tried to pick it off, and Robinson did a good job stepping in front of him and gets the extra pass to Kawa. And it's another full court press. Hasn't been too effective for Howard. We've seen it really create a lot of turnovers in the past, but right now it's doing a little bit more harm than good right now, giving up too many easy baskets for the Statesmen. Harshman with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Takes a look up at the clock, gives up to Johnson. Johnson, spin around, three-pointer, fade away, and he knocks it down! Jaden Johnson with the shot clock down to 0, able to hit the huge three-pointer, and that will cut the Statesman lead in half, 12-9 for Richard Bland. Diedrich struggling a little bit as Howard putting up a 3-2 zone defense right now, giving a little bit different of a look. Good defense for Howard as they force the skip pass across. And the last second jumper, another possession that goes down to the wire, but Howell able to float it in just at the buzzer, puts it in, and extends the Statesman's lead back up to 5. Thomas dishes off to Enriquez. He's gonna try his luck. Spin move, one-on-one, a little bit off balance, no good off the backboard. Statesmen are on the move once more. All the way, that is Martin Kawa, as he is able to lay it in. And Howard once again beaten on the press. Johnson gives it to Enriquez on the elbow. Gets it back. Skip pass into the corner. Roche for 3. No good, a little bit short. Diedrich, he's going to try his luck going through. Swatted away by Roche. And it's going to stay with the Statesmen as we will see wholesale changes. Statesmen bring in number 0, Amani Anderson, number 4, Jaden Curry, and number 25, Brandon Hendricks. For Howard, we see the Howard debut, career debut for Christian Dean, the all Howard County first teamer out of Long Reach High School, getting his first action in a Dragons uniform, as well as Tyreke Olowu, in his sophomore year after
No basket for rounding violation of Richard Bland.
having played his freshman year 6 years ago in the 2017-18 season. Now back here, getting to play his second action. Dean gives that away, gets in front, and it's going to be a blocking call. The referee will signal that he was inside the restricted area. It looked like he had set himself and had the position, but unfortunately for Dean, was just inside the restricted zone, so it is going to be a blocking call.
Martin Kawash shoots 2.
We have seen games with Howard recently where they've only played with 8 players in the rotation, already 11 in the game in the first 7 minutes. As Coach Smelkinson trying to find a good combination of players to break through in this game. Kawa misses the second one. Dean pulls down the rebound. This time making the extra dribble just to make sure to give Johnson a little bit more space, picks up the ball, and Howard will get into their half-court offense. Trying to play through Olowu. It is going to be Johnson. He hits another 3. Jaden Johnson hot from three-point range, his second of the game. And Howard cuts the lead down to 5. Half-court trap, and just being able to get out of it is Anderson. Howell pulls up for the mid-range jumper. That's no good. Ball is still loose. Off target is Hendricks. Pulls it out. Three-pointer is no good for Curry. Another offensive rebound for Richard Bland. And this time they will slow things down. And the referees will stop the play as still trying to figure out, and now they're going to put the shot clock at 16 after the offensive rebound. Curry goes to his left. Johnson right on his pocket. Into the corner they go. Anderson inside, kicks it out. Kawa for 3. That's off the front. And Howard will get the ball back after a good defensive stand. Richard Bland continues to put on their full court press. But this time the Dragons will just pull back as it's just going to be a man-to-man, and Johnson able to make his way up. Olowu to Dean. Dribbles inside. Kicks it back to Johnson. He's got the hot hand. We'll see if he wants to let it fly once more. Gets it inside to Olowu instead. What a play! The reverse layup. Ty Olowu. And for Olowu, that is his first basket of the year. This is his first action of the season, as he has a solid 100% field goal percentage on the year. Curry kicked it out to the corner. Howell with the skip pass. I think he was going for Anderson, but it's cut off by Curry. Johnson is all over him, and the shot clock violation will go on. Howard defense with another great stand. That is 3 straight possessions for Howard, where they have put the Statesmen down to the final buzzer in the shot clock, and that time it did go all the way down as they forced the turnover. Larry Howell has gone to the bench as we see Diedrich back in the game. Roche finds Johnson. Spins off, kicks it out to Dean. Pump fakes his man out of his boots. Inside to Olowu. He's going to go for the mid-range jumper. That's going to be blocked away, and I thought it was tipped. And in the end, it was just not thrown up high enough, so it will be out for a Richard Bland ball. Dean called for the foul. As he's called for the hit on the arm. And now Dean with two quick fouls in this first half. Inside to Hendricks. Smith. Diedrich comes off the screen. Bounce pass inside to Hendricks. He's trying to work his way through. Wild through pass out, and that's going to be a half-court violation. And another good defensive stand for Howard, as they will make a couple substitutions. It will be Dean coming out with those two fouls, and Olowu also conceding his spot, as Mills and Conway, two starters who were pulled after the first 2 minutes, will get another shot at it coming back into the game. Roche finds Conway at the top of the key. Inside to Mills. Mills goes to work, has the ball swatted away from him as he went up with it. Kawa gives up to Robinson. Reverse layup, that's no good. Mills with the rebound. Now Howard's turn to push the tempo. Johnson kicks it out. Conway wide open, 4-2. That's no good. And it's going to be rebounded by Robinson. Kawa has it stripped away by Roche, and referee's asking for help, and it's going to stay with the Statesman. I believe that was the right call, as it was definitely tipped out by Howard. We'll see the Statesman set up in a box formation. A couple off-ball screens, and they'll just give it to Robinson in the corner. They'll start things up with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Diedrich kicks out to Smith. Smith cuts inside, floats it over Mills. That's no good. Mills pulls down the rebound. Throws it up to Roche. 2-on-2 on the fast break. Roche cuts inside, lays it up. That's no good, off the left side of the backboard, the rim. Howard has certainly had their chances and just can't quite capitalize on some of these easy layups. Diedrich inside to Robinson. He'll kick it out to Kawa. Wide open three-pointer. That's no good. Robinson with the offensive rebound. Kawa will try inside this time. That's no good. Mills with a strong rebound. Howard on the break. 3 versus 2. Johnson goes up with it. He's fouled on the play and doesn't get the ball to fall in. But now we are seeing Howard finding their rhythm in this game. Just the first foul called against Richard Bland in this game, as we are 11 minutes into this game. 4 against the Dragons. Johnson with his first one, no good. We'll see Jalen Bowie go in for Arthur Roche. And for the Statesman, Howell will return as he replaces Anderson. Johnson comes in just 1 for 2 from the free throw line on the season, and make it 2 for 4 as he is able to hit the second one. Howard back to the full court press. Howell picks up in midcourt and has that stripped away. What a job by John Thomas to read the pass underneath. And that time the full court press does result in a turnover. Mills, turnaround jumper. That one is just off the rim. Thomas, a little bit of a reaching, and that is going to be called.
Howard foul number 3, John Thomas, his second, team's fifth.
As we will see Shane Taylor return in the game.
Shane Taylor for Howard.
As this is the closest we've seen to the Howard starting 5 since the first 2 minutes. Johnson, the only non-starter, still in there. And why not after the hot shooting that he's been putting up so far? Johnson also playing some strong defense right now. Howell, and he's going to be hit on the arm, as Bowie, I believe, will be charged with this one. Oh no, it's going to be Johnson that's going to be called for it.
Jaden Johnson is first, team 6.
So Johnson called for his first, and Howard already had 6 fouls. Next one will put the Statesman in the bonus.
Richard Bland with a 30-second
Richard Bland calls their first timeout, 30-second timeout.
Richard Bland 17, Howard 15.
That is head coach Andrew Lacey of Richard Bland. He is the assistant director of athletics as well as the head men's basketball coach.
Our second game this evening will
See Richard Bland. They came into this game wanting to push it as much as they possibly can. So many of their early points came from fast break. For the Dragons, typically they want to get into that slow half-court offense. They want to be methodical. They want to move it around, but struggled to do so against Richard Bland's defense early on. So they have picked up the tempo a little bit and been effective in doing so, if nothing else, getting to the free throw line. That ball thrown away out on the inbound. Johnson goes with the fast break. His layup is no good. Oh no, and Johnson has come up limping on his ankle. That is not good for Howard. Johnson into the far side, came up limping, and he is still down. Can see Howard athletic trainer Tim Happel on his way over. Thankfully, he is here for today's game and will be able to attend to Johnson. Howard's leading point scorer so far in this game. Meach Wilson back into the game, so we do have the starting five back out there for Howard now. Taylor curls into the basket. Wilson has the ball stripped away, but it's going to be off the arm, actually, as it is going to be a foul against Rodney Willis Jr., the 6'8" senior, freshman center out of Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Meach Wilson goes to the line 4-2. Wilson misses the first. Wilson struggling from the free throw line this season, came into the game shooting 3 of 15 from the charity stripe. Second one will get the friendly roll in.
Wilson makes 1 out of 2 for Howard.
Howard putting on the court press again, and that pass is too high. Dragons are on the break. Conway goes up with his left hand. That one's good. And just like that, Howard has cut the lead down to 1. 7.5 minutes left. Half-court press is there once more, and that's going to be a double dribble. Another turnover for the Statesmen. Ryan Conway was able to recover back in time to put on that half-court trap, and it forced Jalen Smith to try to go through and called for the double dribble. Bowie. And there's another foul called, so we saw no fouls against Richard Bland over the first 11 minutes. And now, I believe that's the third in the last minute and a half. Wilson dives inside. He's going to go with his left hand, and it's good. The scoop and score for Meach Wilson, and Howard has their first lead of the game at 20-19. Almost another traveling violation there as the pivot foot was holding on by a pinky toe, but it is going to be a turnover there. Taylor grabs the ball. Howard off to the races. Bowie inside and can't catch that, but it's going to be tipped out by the Statesman. Howard keeps control. Willis will come out as Robinson will come back in. Howard lines up, and we'll see another sub before that happens as Curry will come in. Diedrich needing a rest on the bench and will immediately get some instructions from Coach Lacey. Conway starts things up from midcourt. Mills to Wilson. Pump fakes a couple of times, ends up going to Wilson on the wing. Taylor sets up for a three. He'll let it fly. Yes, sir! Shane Taylor hits it And the Dragons 3-point shooting on point today. They now lead by 4. Long pass across. On a tight line, able to keep it in bounds is Jaden Curry. And now Richard Bland sets up their half-court offense for the first time in what seems like minutes. Kawhi. Smith trying to get around Wilson. He'll get inside. Back to Kawhi, and that one will hit on the mid-range jumper. Once again, right down to the wire of that shot clock. Bowie to Taylor at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Bowie. Fake to pass over to Conway. Now he'll go this time. Conway, pump fake, he's inside. Easy layup. Ryan Conway puts it in. And another good possession by the Dragons. That they have really found their offense here in the last few minutes in particular. Into the corner for Smith. Skip pass, Curry. They're trying to get it inside. Now they do to Howell from the paint. That is good. Good ball movement by the Statesmen as they were able to switch the court and then work their way back into the middle where Howell had found a pocket of space and hits it from the free throw line, cutting it down to a 2-point lead for Howard. Mills, he'll try his luck from 3. That's no good. Conway is able to pick it up by himself. 1 versus 4 gets the offensive rebound. Taylor for 3. It's good! Shane Taylor hits another one. The 4th 3-pointer up for the Dragons in this first half. Taylor's got 2 of them. Howell going the other way. He kicks it out. Curry for 3. That's no good. Smith on the rebound. That's no good. Smith gets it back again, and Kawhi will pull it back. 10 on the shot clock as Kawhi tries to get inside for Robinson. That's going to be tipped away by the Dragons. Bowie dribbles it up. Gives it off to Wilson. He'll go up with it strong, but it's going to be off the front of the rim. He comes up limping a little bit, but he'll be able to rush back on defense. Robinson going the other way. That's no good. And a blocking foul will be called against Mills as he was turning sideways and put his body into Robinson on the layup attempt. Mills not happy about the call, but it looked like a pretty good call from this angle. And it will be Robinson to have 2 more free throws. He's 2 for 2 from the line so far in this game. Robinson hits the first. Statesmen are 5 of 5 from the free throw line so far in this game and are not able to keep that up as that one is off the front of the rim. Wilson with the rebound. Conway will bring it up this time. He'll just dribble it all the way, dishes off to Wilson, kicks it out, it's Shane Taylor again! Off the backboard and rim. Richard Bland with the rebound, pushing it up, but it's going to be dribbled off of the own foot of Kawa, but then Mills gives it away. Smith able to lay it up and good as Mills beat himself up after that ill-advised pass. Mills turns to look, finds Conway, he'll let one fly, that's good! Conway hits one. And the 3-point shooting of Howard spurring them forward back to a 5-point lead. Just under 3 minutes left in this first half. Smith from the wing finds Jaden Goods. Kawhi inside, that's a little bit too strong. Robinson on the offensive rebound, still tipped away. Mills finally grabs it for Howard. Seen Richard Bland very effective with their offensive rebounds so far in this game. Mills And that pass is going to be forced in and tipped away by Robinson. Richard Bland going back the other way. Kawa lays it in.
Richard Bland, basket number 3, Martin Kawa.
Martin Kawa up to 8 points in the game. As Howard trying to see if they can extend their lead a little bit before halftime. Conway from the top of the key. He'll try to drive to his right once again and is tripped up on the play. No call. The ball goes off of his knee and it will be out for a Richard Bland ball.
Arthur Roche for Howard.
Roche will come in for Mills as Mills certainly disappointed himself for a couple of needless turnovers, and he'll go to the end of the bench and hopefully be able to collect himself and get back to the Andrew Mills that we know can be so effective and dominant. Dragons will pull back to the half court and not put on a full court press here. Small lineup for the Dragons, 4 guards out there and just 1 forward in Omich Wilson. That's going to be an ill-advised pass by Kawa. Roche going back the other way, ball's tipped away, and it's going to be Howard ball on the tip out. Bowie throws it up for Roche. He'll go straight up with it, and the fingertip roll is good. What a layup by Arthur Roche to put it in. Roche up to 6 points. 1 minute left in this first half. Howell to Kawa. Inside, Kawa with the left hand. That's good, high off the glass. It's a 2-man show for Richard Bland right now. Kawa and Howell with 10 points each. Conway works around. He's going to let one fly. That's good. Ryan Conway hits another one. He's up to 10 points in this first half, leading all Howard scorers. Howard with their largest lead of the game so far, up to 6. Inside, that's going to be tipped away, still bouncing around, and it's going to be off of the foot of Hendricks, and it will be Howard ball. The Dragons will call a 30-second timeout. 19.7 left on the game clock, and this will give Coach Smelkinson a chance to draw up a play for the last shot of this first half. You see Ryan Conway with 10, Shane Taylor with 8, Jaden Johnson with 7. However, looking at the training table on the far side, I'm going to unfortunately guess that that will not be added to for Johnson in this game. Hopefully he's not injured too badly, but certainly looks like he's having a tough time on that training table. Roche, he's up to 6 points. Wilson with 3, Mills with 2, Thomas with 1. On Richard Bland's side, like I mentioned, Kawa with 12, Howell with 10, Jalen Smith with 4, and Tim Robinson with 3. We'll see what Howard can do at the last 10 seconds of this half. It's going to be Conway at the top of the key. Conway cuts inside. He's going to lay it up, and he's going to be fouled on the play with 3 seconds left. Conway forcing the issue, gets hit as he went up with his right hand. The blocking call will be called, and Conway will get a chance to go to the line for 2 free throws. Conway comes in shooting 80% from the free throw line. First one, no doubt about it, right in the bottom of the net. Conway up and in, and Howard extends it to an 8-point lead. Googe on the last second heave-ho, no good. And that will do it for us in the first half. Richard Bland jumped down to a big lead in the opening minutes of the game. Howard clawed back, ended up pulling away with an 8-point lead at halftime, as the Dragons will take it 38-33 after the opening 20 minutes of the game. We'll take a quick break and be back with you after this intermission. All right, we are joined here at halftime by CCBC Catonsville men's basketball head coach TJ Prelo. Coach, thank you for joining me here.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, let's talk about your team for a second. You guys are 5-0. You've played a very difficult schedule and won them all.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing out of your team this year.
We got a sophomore heavy group. It's 10 sophomores. 10 sophomores, about 5 freshmen, 3 freshman starters though. And we've been playing with 2 starters out. So we had a tough preseason. They got used to adversity, and so now when we see it, we can handle it a little bit.
I mean, in particular, your season opener going against Harcum and taking them down. I mean, that's a D1 powerhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to feel good starting your season off with that.
Yeah, it did. We owed them one. They beat us twice when I was at Baltimore last year. We owed them one. And like I say, older group, they felt that loss last year, so they wanted to get them back.
And then you went down to North Carolina over the weekend, taking down Cape Fear, taking down Brunswick again, 2 good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, is it the same formula? Are you just doing the same thing, taking on these big teams and just knowing who you are? And
So we got a saying. We say pound the rock. We just gonna keep going until we figure it out. We just gonna keep attacking whatever the mission is until we figure it out. And you know, last year we had a tough schedule. When we were at Baltimore, a lot of these guys came over with me. They trusted me. They saw my vision, and we just pounding that rock. We're gonna keep going.
So I know you're playing Community College of Rhode Island tonight, but let's talk a little bit about Richard Bland, who you're watching right now play against Howard.
Yeah.
You play them tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out of this Richard Bland team?
A lot of athleticism. I'm shocked that they aren't playing as fast as they normally do, but Howard is Howard. Smelk does his thing, man. He slows teams down and makes them have to run half-court sets. So it's interesting to see them in a slowdown situation, but they got a lot of athletes and they play hard, especially like the guard that they have, number 1.
Well, then let's talk about Howard while you're on it. Yeah, I mean, perhaps a little bit of a slow start, not exactly the way Coach Smelkson usually has his teams playing, but certainly turning it on there towards the second half, that first half. Tell me, what are you seeing out of Howard this game?
I would like to say that's what we're looking for. They've been the standard of success right now for D2 in Region 20. So any team that Coach Smelk has is going to be a highly competitive team. So that's kind of what we've been competing with, even though we haven't seen them on the floor yet, which we will last game of the season. But that's what we were shooting for. Want to be able to beat them.
So you previewed my last question for you. Like you said, it's going to be the last regular game of the home season.
Yeah.
February 28th. I mean, come on, the house has got to be packed for that one. That's going to be a great game.
It will be. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll determine some seating. 1, 2, 3, wherever it may be. I'm pretty sure it'll determine some seating. But we're at the Nest here down in Catonsville, so we'll pack the gym, make sure I got a DJ and everything, so we can have some fun while we're here.
Well, just make sure it's not me. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, Coach, good luck to you this weekend, and thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, that is head coach of CCBC Catonsville men's basketball, the 5-0 Cardinals, as they take on Community College of Rhode Island at 7 o'clock here as soon as this game is over. We have another 9 minutes left of halftime. We'll be back with you after this halftime break. back here in Catonsville, Maryland, on the campus of CCBC Catonsville, as the Howard Dragons and the Richard Bland Statesmen, take battle here in the Randy Gregory Invitational Mixer. Howard leading 38-30 after 20 minutes of play. Richard Bland in their green uniforms, Howard in the whites, as we are underway for the second half. And Jalen Bowie right off the bat picks it off. Stutter step goes up, no good, but Meach Wilson slams it down with authority. And Howard up to a 10-point lead. Full court press back on. Pass through the middle. Robinson tries to go across. Shane Taylor gets a hand on it. Dragons off to a great start in this second half. Much different start than what we saw in the first half. And now we see Bowie fouled on the play by Makai Diedrich. That's going to be his second foul. Jalen Bowie, the sophomore guard out of Frederick, Maryland. Inbounding it to Conway. Conway finds Mills. This is where they want Mills to get the ball, and that's exactly what they want. Andrew Mills able to turn towards the basket and get aggressive and lay it up. Not Mills' best first half, but starting out confidently in the second half, a good 2 points for him. Kawa kicks it out to Diedrich. Into the corner goes Howell. Inside to Robinson, and Robinson gets a little 2 minute steps in the paint and gets called for the traveling violation. And right away we'll see Robinson head to the bench as Amani Anderson goes in for him. Conway kicks out to Mills. Mills faces up towards basket once more. Taylor on the wing. Tries to drive baseline, spins inside, and has that one tipped away as he forced that pass. Diedrich going the other way. Wilson with the block. Able to swat that one away. Meach Wilson showing off the athleticism, and that's going to be tipped out. Howard will keep the ball. Meach Wilson moves so well for a big man. Able to get the chase down block. Conway will start things up at midcourt for the Dragons. Bowie to Taylor. He'll line one up. The lefty. That's going to be off the front of the rim, and foul will be called against Mills as he pushed off trying to get to the offensive rebound. That's going to be his second foul. Pass across, Taylor gets a hand on it, picks it off. Taylor up towards the basket, hit on the head and it just goes off the front of the rim, no good. Taylor nearly getting the hoop and harm, but we'll get 2 free throws out of it.
Richard Bland fouled number 0, Amani Anderson, his second.
This Howard full court press wearing down Richard Bland.
Shane Taylor shoots.
They were able to break it so well in the first 10 minutes of the game, but it's just been getting tougher and tougher for them as the game goes by. Taylor lines it up and hits that one.
Taylor makes the first, shoots one more.
Taylor comes in the game averaging a few free throws per game, shooting 7 of 9 from the stripe, and increases that with a couple from the line. Howard increasing their lead to 14, their biggest of the game, as it continues to go up and up on what a run that started it late in the first half, continues to go. Turn and shot, Howell, that's no good. Wilson and Mills, 2 teammates fighting for the rebound. Mills ends up grabbing the ball in the end. Mills from the top of the key. Conway will let one fly, that one's no good. And Bowie knocked to the ground on the top, Wilson knocked to the ground. Saw some contact between Howell and Wilson.
Howard foul number 2, Shane Taylor.
But that is not what's going to be called. It's going to be Taylor who's called for the foul. His first of the game. He was going up for the offensive rebound. The contact on Wilson totally missed by all three referees. Howell under pressure, gets it up to Diedrich. Diedrich has that one knocked down. Outside, it's going to be Anderson. Kicked it to the top of the key. Kawa underneath. Howell with the reverse layup. That's no good, but the Dragons are called for a foul again. This time it's going to go against Mills, his third. Correction, that's one going to go against Wilson, so thankfully the Dragons catch a break as Wilson picks up his first. First free throw is good for Howell. We've still only seen 4 Richard Bland players get on the scoreboard today. Howell and his teammate Kawa in double digits. Howell misses the second one, way off. Wilson gets the rebound. Bowie. From midcourt. Ball is poked out of the hands of Mills, but now he's going to turn towards the basket. Wilson. He'll drive in. Wilson with the right hand, able to scoop it up and in. Oh, Meach Wilson up to 8 points on the game. Passed across to Kawa. He'll drive it in. Kicks it out to Howell. Howell thought about shooting. Conway, aggressive, trying to pick that off. Across to Smith. He'll go up and in. A good play by Jalen Smith as he scooped it in. And a 30-second timeout will be called by Richard Bland.
16-20 remaining second half. Howard 46, Richard Bland 33.
Richard Bland, they're shooting well. They're 45% from the field, 13 of 29, 0 of 3 from three-point range, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. For Howard, 16 of 32 from the field, 6 of 12 from three-point range. The biggest difference between these teams right now is the three-point shooting of Howard. Also, 15 turnovers for Richard Bland so far, just 10 for Howard, so definitely too many turnovers for both teams. Both coaches will be the first to argue that. Conway takes the inbound pass. Comes around the screen. He'll drive with the right hand. Kicks it out to Wilson. He'll find Mills inside. Floats it up, and that will find the net after a friendly bounce off the rim. And Andrew Mills continues to find his touch in this second half. He's up to 6 points. Diedrich underneath. Howell has it tipped away from his hands as Wilson thought he had a chance to steal that away and just couldn't quite grab it cleanly. To the wing goes Smith. Diedrich. Kawa, as he is fouled on the way up by Bowie. Shot did not go in, but it's going to be a pushing foul that will result in a couple of free throws. For Richard Bland, they stick around to play at Catonsville tomorrow as part of a long road stretch themselves. 7 straight games on the road before returning home on December 2nd against USC Salkehatchie. Kawa hits 2 of 2. He's up to 13 points as he continues to spur forward this Statesman offense. Conway gets around his man. Dishes it off to Wilson. Wilson with the layup. That's good. And Conway able to dribble past his man and open up the middle of the Statesman defense, forcing them to collapse it on him, and that got Wilson to be a wide open for the layup. Wilson up to 10 points on the game. That one's blocked away, but a foul is called, as it's going to be Mills. Now this time Mills will pick up his third foul. And have to imagine that Coach Smelkinson will have to pull out his All-American forward, not wanting him to pick up that fourth foul so early in the game. First free throw goes off the rim, and Mills immediately knows that he's under the bench as Emmanuel Enriquez and Arthur Roche return the game. It will be Ryan Conway also going to the bench for Howard. Smith, first, second one. That one's going to find the net.
Jalen Smith makes 1 out of 2 for William Lang.
Bowie able to get across the half-court line. Comes off the screen. Now tries the other way. Enriquez. He'll cut inside. Enriquez with the right hand. That's swatted away by Kawa.
Out of bounds, possession foul.
Have to wonder if Enriquez would have been better off using his left hand there to use his body to protect the ball. But in the end, you have to give a lot of credit to Kawa for a good block. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson goes up with it, and that's good. Jalen Bowie put it right into the hands of Wilson, and he was able to body his way in, lay it up off the glass. Wilson up to 12 points. Smith, and that's got to be a traveling violation. Sure is, as he tried a spin move and just couldn't catch his feet. Bowie lost his handle real quick. Now it's going to be scooped up by Diedrich. He'll go straight up with it, and he puts it in as Bowie a little careless with the ball that time. We'll see those two go at it once more as Bowie tries to keep his handles. Roche pops to the top of the key. Drives to his right now, pulls back, jump shot, that's gonna be good. Arthur Roche, beautiful move to lose his man. Pulls up for the mid-range jumper, and it's good. Roche is up to 6 points. Good passing by the Statesman. That's gonna be a three-pointer off the front of the rim. Rebound by Enriquez, he'll throw it up. Thomas goes all the way down. Thomas fadeaway layup is no good. Statesman, good, they'll push it the other way, but Kawa, not enough help. Finds Howell. Now Howell will dive through the middle of the lane, and he finds his way into the backboard and in as Howell goes up to 13. "13 minutes left in this second half. Howard has extended up to a 14-point lead. Roche looking for some help. Just hands it off to Wilson with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Bowie able to get in, throws it off the rim, that's no good. Strong rebound by Howell. Kawa gives up to Diedrich, he'll give it up by Hendricks. A lot of contact, Hendricks begging for the call, none is made. Howard back the other way, Thomas pulls up for three, off the backboard, no good. Back and forth we go. This time it's going to be Diedrich with it. And we'll see another foul. This one is going to be against Bowie. His second foul, but 6 against Howard. And with 12 minutes left, Richard Bland will be in the bonus for the rest of this game. First shot, a line drive free throw is good. As we will see Colin Harshman and Zach Chin going to the game for Chin, his first action of the season. as the 5'10 freshman out of Laurel, Maryland, went to Reservoir High School. Will get in there. Chin, known as a strong defender on ball, as well as a good ball handler as a point guard. Wilson, he'll dive to the basket, fouled on the way up, and unable to make the basket, but once again, we'll see Wilson go to the free throw line. Anderson picks up his third foul. Anderson, the first one into actual foul trouble for Richard Bland in this game. We see Diedrich and Kawa with 2 fouls each. For Howard, it's just Mills with 3 and Bowie with 2.
Wilson makes the first, shoots one more.
Wilson hits the first free throw. Been much better from the line today. Second free throw by Wilson. That's good as well. Wilson now up to 14 points. Howard picks that one off. Chin will pull it out, and he will run the Howard offense. Harshman, he'll let one loose from long range. It's good! Colin Harshman from way downtown knocks it in. Kawad goes back the other way. He's fouled.
Foul number 15, Arthur Roche, his first, team 7.
Colin Harshman has been struggling from three-point range so far in this year. Just 1 of 11 coming to this game, but not lacking in confidence, and certainly could see from that one. Christian Dean will come back into the game as Omich Wilson heads to the bench. Second free throw is good. Kawa up to 16 points. Chin picks up a double team. Picks the ball back up. Finds Enriquez at the top of the key. He'll get aggressive. Enriquez up with it. It's good. Emmanuel Enriquez gets the hoop and harm. No doubt about it as he went up strong, got bumped off, but still found the backboard on the layup. Enriquez, the leading scorer in this team, had been held scoreless up until that point. But he'll go from 0 up to 2 just like that as he'll miss the free throw. Dean locking down Howell. He'll throw it off the backboard. That's no good. Dean picks up the rebound. He'll push the pace. Christian Dean gives up to Chin. Chin goes up with it. He's fouled on the play. And he'll get a couple free throws out of it. That's one of those situations where good defense turns into good offenses, forcing Richard Bland into a tough off-balance shot, get the rebound, and just turn the boosters on, going the other way. Chin, as he will confidently knock down that free throw, his first points of the season. In fact, that is his first collegiate point, so congratulations to Zachariah Chin. Unfortunately for him, there's not baseball, so he doesn't just get to keep the ball, put it in a showcase. And he'll make the second one as well.
Chin makes both free throws for Howard.
63-43, Howard up by 20 after they were down by 10 early in this game. Howell from the top of the key. Dean right in his face. Howell trying to juke and jive. 8 on the shot clock. And a foul will be called as Smith spun into Christian Dean, and he was off to the races. The foul is actually going to be called on Colin Harshman.
Harshman is second, team's eighth. 1-1 for Jalen Smith.
One-on-one free throw. First one's no good. As we see Richard Bland bring in 6'11", 315-pound Avani Hunter out of Louisa, Virginia. Harshman, tough back, and that's good. The fadeaway jumper by Colin Harshman. He is feeling it right now. Howard up by 22 now, continuing to open this game up. Kawa, three-pointer, that's no good. Chin with the rebound. Howard off to the races. Chin. Flips up for O'Shea. Oh, and he misses the alley-oop. That's going to be knocked out by Richard Bland, but the ball will be called in Richard Bland's favor. Looked for sure like it was going to be Howard ball, but we'll let that one slide. Howard nearly missing out on the highlight reel alley-oop play. Inside to Howell. Enriquez locking him down. What a block shot by Enriquez. Howard going the other way. Dean up to Harshman. Harshman, he'll lay it in. Great defense turns into great offense. Howard up by 24 now. Just like that, Colin Harshman, a jolt off the bench. Kawa, that layup is no good. Ball bounce around. Layup by Hunter, that's no good. And Chin with the rebound. Dean loses the ball, and he'll be called for the foul as he held his man back on the way. And Dean upset with himself as he'll get called for his third foul. And with the 9th foul, we'll still be in the 1-and-1 range. Hunter will go back to the bench as we will see Rodney Willis Jr. into the game. First free throw is no good. Enriquez with the rebound. Dean, 4-3. That's no good. Just a little bit strong. Willis with the rebound. And Enriquez was going for the steal, but it's called for the foul on the way. Enriquez, that will just be his first foul.
Enriquez, his first, team's 10.
First free throw is no good as Howard now with 10 fouls, so Richard Bland in the double bonus. Thomas will come to the game as Roche hits the bench. Ten different scores for the game on Howard's side. Just 5 for Richard Bland. Harshman begging for the ball. He'll catch and shoot, and is fouled on the play. Never a doubt that Harshman was going to let that one go, and Richard Bland trying to jump out on it a little bit too aggressively. Brown picks up his first foul, and it will be 3 free throws for Harshman. First one short off the front. Second one is good.
Harshman makes a second and shoots one more.
And third one's good, so 2 of 3 for Harshman. And a technical foul will be called against Emmanuel Enriquez. So it had to be some jawing going on the left side of the court. Didn't see any contact, so it had to be from the spoken word. As Coach Smokinson will call Enriquez over and try to calm him down.
Low for Howard.
Howell puts in both, as we will see now Jaden Goods getting back in the game. What a change. This game took a dramatic turn midway through that first half. It looked like Richard Bland was going to give Howard all kinds of fits throughout the game, and the Dragons just turned on the power switch, to be honest, and just started playing their style of game. And since then, it has been all Howard. Inside, Kawa kicks it out. Anderson, that's no good. Tipped out to Goods. He's going to make the mid-range jumper, as he will get on the score sheet. Chin to Olowu. Harshman, he's feeling it now. Colin Harshman just a little bit strong. And an offensive foul will be called as Amani Anderson called for the push-off. Excuse me, it's going to be called against Rodney Willis, so it's going to be the illegal screen by Willis that's going to be called for the offensive foul. His second. Chin to Olowu. He's going to turn towards the basket. Tries to dish it out to the corner, but that's going to be picked off by Anderson. Anderson will go all the way coast to coast and scoops it in for a layup. And that will force a timeout by Coach Smelkinson as he tries to calm his team down. Just a 30-second timeout, so we will stay right here. As I mentioned before, Howard Dragons, the Road Warriors of 2023-24, 29 road games, none at home all the year long. They are 3-2 right now. They started the year number 12 nationally ranked in the preseason poll. After having lost a couple of tough games, they have dropped out of the national rankings. But we'll see what happens if they're able to string together some more wins. They will head up to Cecil College over the weekend for another couple of tough games as they face off against Raritan Valley tomorrow at 3 p.m., followed by Delaware Tech on Sunday, November 19th at 1 p.m. Thomas finds Olowu. Dean forces that pass inside, looking for Olowu, and that's going to stay with the Dragons. That went off the leg of Richard Bland. .14 on the shot clock. Chin will take it from the top. He'll dish it off to Olowu. Goes inside, kicks it out to Harshman. Harshman for three, off the right side of the rim. Dean fighting for the rebound, and it's going to stay with Howard as Anderson fell out of bounds trying to control the ball, and Howard will get a fresh 20. Dragons line up. Dean from the corner wanted to let one loose, but decided to hold on to it. Now Thomas with the fadeaway jumper. That's no good. Harshman tried for the putback. That one's taken away from him. Howell to Anderson. An offensive foul called as Willis put an elbow into Olowu's body, trying to get the inside position.
Richard Bland foul for 21.
Those games at Cecil College will be broadcast by the Cecil College Athletics Department, the links for which you can be found on the Howard website, www.howardccdragons.com. Dean tries to pass it inside. That's going to be tipped away. Richard Bland going back the other way. Anderson fouled on the play, puts it in. And Anderson will have a chance at three-point play. And with that, Coach Smelkinson decides it's time to get the starters back in there with 6 minutes left. And the lead has dwindled down to 18, so Smelkinson taking no chances and just making sure that his starting five can close this game out. First free throw, no good. Or excuse me, the and one free throw is no good. Conway to Mills. Back to Conway. As he'll dish it out to Taylor, but is fouled in the process. And that will be the 9th foul against Richard Bland, so will be a 1-and-1 for Howard. Conway, 2 of 2 from the free throw line so far in this game. He's at 12 points. Makes the first one.
Conway makes the front end for 1-and-1, shoots the bonus.
Howard shooting well from the free throw line this game. 14 of 17, 83% from the free throw line as a team. Second one rattles out, and it's going to be rebounded by Richard Bland. Kawa looking to go inside. That pass out of the reach of Willis. And will go the Howard way. After this weekend, the Dragons will get 10 days off, finally catching a little bit of a rest before they will get back into region play at Anne Arundel on November 29th. Followed by a weekend series in Westmoreland, followed by being in Beaver County of Western Pennsylvania. What a pass! Mills gets it in a silky touch by Shane Taylor with his left hand to scoop it in. Taylor up to 12 points. That one's stolen away. Conway goes up on the contact, is fouled on the play, and gets back to the free throw line.
Richard Bland foul number 24,
Conway able to rattle that home and makes the first.
Brian Conway makes the first shooting four.
Conway makes the second and will immediately head to the bench as we will see the season debut of Ayub Rab. Rab, another player who redshirted last year, the 6'3" freshman out of Columbia, Maryland, went to Atholton High School, making his debut in a Dragon uniform. Howell kicks it out. Goods. He'll pull up for the jumper. That's no good. Fight for the rebound, and that's going to go off of Howard, and Richard Bland will keep possession with a 20-second shot clock. December gets pretty packed for Howard after 2 games in Pennsylvania, as that shot will go strong, no good, and Rab picks up his first stat. It's a defensive rebound. Howard will then go to Potomac State on December 6th, to Hagerstown on December 11th, and then heads to Hartford for the Hartford Hoops Classic on December 15th and 16th. And that will close out their 2023 portion of the schedule, as Mills fadeaway jumper, no good. Before the Dragons will break for the holidays. Howell working inside, trying to get around Wilson. Wilson is standing there like a brick wall. Anderson from long range, nowhere close, and Wilson able to flip it back into play, gets the rebound. Taylor finds Bowie. Taylor able to seal off his man, dishes off to Mills. Mills with the floater is hit on the play, no good on the shot, but he'll get back to the free throw line. Howell will be called for the foul. That's going to be his third. Correction, his second.
Andrew Mills brings the first for Howard, shoots one more.
Mills, the sophomore forward out of Newtown High School. And he will knock down both. As we will see Jordan Horton come into the game. Another freshman forward out of Laurel, Maryland, went to Laurel High School, the 6'7" freshman. He'll take over for Mills. That one's stolen away. Wilson to Rab. Rab tries to throw it back to Wilson. Back to Rab. Rab will go up with it. He'll miss the layup. Tries it again. Rab misses it again. Wilson, he'll miss it. Magnets just keeping the ball out of the basket for Howard on that possession. Anderson going the other way. That's going to be blocked by Horton, but he'll be called for the foul as his body went in on the low part of the play. And he'll get called for the push.
Howard foul number 34, Jordan Horn, his first.
Rab was trying to set up Wilson for the alley-oop, but I think the team wanted to see Rab get his first basket in there and tried to get it back to him, and he just couldn't quite put in the layup.
Monty Anderson makes the first, shoots one more.
With Howard back up by 24, we'll see the second team once again take over as the final three starters for Howard goes back to the bench. Anderson lines it up and hits the second free throw.
Anderson makes both free throws for Richard Bland.
As we will see another debut, Tremaine Jones, the freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland, went to Dunbar High School. Gets it into Horn. Olowu. Cuts inside. He's going to put it off the backboard. A little strong, no good. Horn tries to go with it. That's going to be blocked away.
Out of bounds, possession Howard.
And I believe the shot clock was reset inadvertently as it was a block shot and never hit the rim, so it should be back at 10 seconds, and that is exactly what the referees are going to do. 10 on the shot clock. And assistant coach Will Thomas now arguing that the first shot actually hit the rim, and then the block shot was off the rebound, so they will put it at 20 seconds. So Coach Thomas using his moonlighting skills as a referee to good use and able to get Howard an extra 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jones kicks it out to Dean. His three-pointer from the corner is no good. Horn fighting for the rebound, unable to grab it, and now it will be Richard Bland ball.
Possession Richard Bland.
Brown inbounds it to Kawa. He'll take his man on and gets around Dean too easily and lays it in. Kawa up to 18 points for the Statesman. Jones tries to kick it out to Rab in the corner. That's going to be knocked out. Jones. Pull-up jumper by Dean. That's no good. But the rebound cannot be controlled by Brown, so Howard will get another shot at it. Just under 2 minutes left in this second half. Second half where the result has not really been in question. That one blocked away. Horn gets it back, however. Dean, pump fake. Now he's going to try a mid-range jumper. That's no good. A couple Howard players fight for it. Horn, that time the foul is called as he tried to go back up with it, and he will get to the line. Richard Bland did such a good job of not fouling in that first half, keeping Howard off of the free throw line. Since then, the Dragons seem to have been living on the free throw line, as Horton will miss his first one.
Shoots one more.
Horn on his second attempt. Too strong once again, and the Dragons will fall back to their zone defense. Stolen away by Dean. Dean will try to go coast to coast with it. Lays it up and in.
Howard basket number 24.
Christian Dean, he gets his first points as a Howard player. And Howard up to a 23-point lead once more. Anderson. And that's going to be called a foul as Horn got his hands on Brown.
Howard foul number 34, Jordan Horn, his second. Jordan Brown shoots one more.
That shot a little strong. Our next broadcast will be on January 10th in 2024 when the Dragons travel to CCBC Dundalk, where we will once again be broadcasting right here on the Dragons Network at howardccdragons.com. 1 minute left in this second half. Olowu trying to go inside for Horn and will be out for a Statesman ball. Inside, Kawa pulls up, that's good.
Richard Bland, basket number 3, Martin Kawa.
Kawa continues to pad his stats as he's up to 20 points. Rab comes off the screen, gets inside. That one's smacked away. Rab still on the ground. Statesman pushing it on the other side of the court. Kicks out to Anderson. His three-pointer, that's going to be good. And that will cut the Dragon lead down to 18. Long pass by Dean, and that will be out of play. And with that, the ball will be inbounded underneath the Howard basket. Goods kicks it out. Anderson, he'll try one more from three-point range. That's no good. Brown with the offensive rebound. Anderson again. That's no good. Rebound is grabbed by Robinson, and he will go to the free throw line with 5 seconds left.
Howard foul number 34, Jordan Horn, his third.
Horn called for his third foul. But the Dragons will improve to 4-2 on the year. And look to continue to pick up some momentum as they get into a really meaty part of their schedule. Jones picks up the rebound, and that will do it. It was a tough test as expected early on, but the Dragons did what the Dragons do best, and they just composed themselves, played their game, and ended up pulling away for an 18-point victory over the Richard Bland Statesmen. Don't go anywhere. We'll have head coach Mike Smelkinson here for a post-game interview after a very short break. No, Mike. All right, join here now for our post-game interview with head coach Mike Smelkinson. Coach, it was a rough first 10 minutes of the game, but your team really turned it around after that and played some good ball over the final 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah, disappointing start to the game, but once we got past that, I thought we played really good team basketball on both ends.
12 different scores in the game. Obviously, it helps when your team really jumps out to that big lead and able to pull out that bench, but this is a team that has a lot of depth to it and has some really good players that can come off the bench for you.
We do. It's a good problem to have as a coach. We have a lot of offensive firepower. We got to get better on the defense and on the boards, but once we do, we're going to be a tough game for any opponent.
Speaking on the boards, a good game for Omich Wilson. 7 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the floor, 14 points for him. He's really your big man in the middle that's really able to, give that physical presence for you in there.
Yeah, am I right that he was 4 of 4 from the line, too?
I believe maybe 4 or 5, I think it was.
4 or 5 from the line. So that's a great job from him. In limited minutes, too, I think, for him. He didn't play much in the first half. But Omich is a workhorse. We need him always going after the ball. He's athletic. He's tough. And he's really improved from last year to this year.
You're talking about some of that scoring power off the bench. Obviously not the best game for Emmanuel Riquez, who was your leading scorer coming into this game, but picked up a little bit. Colin Harshman made some big baskets for you in there. Arthur Roche had some good baskets for you. I mean, it's just that depth of the team where if somebody is not necessarily having their best game, there's somebody else there to pick it up.
Absolutely. I thought Arthur was one of the bright spots in the first half when he came off the bench and got us going, and then Colin got hot there in the second half for us. So, yeah, I mean, and I thought even Zach came off the bench and gave good minutes. It gave good energy on defense and got us into our offense. So we just have the type of team that, for Emmanuel, it was an off night for him, but we play tomorrow, and I have confidence that he'll bounce back with a strong game for us.
Speaking of tomorrow, you've got 3 games in a row here as you travel to Cecil College to take on Raritan Valley. What's it like as a coach knowing that you've got these 3 games in a row back to back to back? All of them are tough teams.
Yeah, Raritan Valley, they were ranked all year long last year. I think they're off to a 5-0 start. They're really good. So we got a short turnaround time. We got to go back and prepare for that. But we're on the road all year long this year, and everything we're doing, we're trying to prepare for the region tournament. So we're excited about it, and it's always nice coming off a win, get ready for the next game, and use it as confidence.
Well, that region tournament will be held at Cecil College, where you'll be there this weekend. So hopefully your team gets real comfortable in that gym and can feel good coming out of it.
That's right, and as I see Catonsville's cheer squad over here ready to cheer, just know that ours is back in the lab getting ready, and next time we come here, we're bringing them.
That sounds fantastic. Well, Coach, great job. I'm proud of you for being able to pull it out and get a good win, and definitely good luck this weekend against Raritan Valley and Delaware Tech.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. So the Dragons will improve to 4-2 on the year as not only head coach, but also athletic director Mike Smelkinson, very proud of that competitive cheer squad that he's got going. Looking to getting to really have a great all-around program for the Dragons, moving them forward in the right direction. Final look at the box score here. Ryan Conway led the way for Howard with 15 points, Omich Wilson with 14, Shane Taylor with 12, Colin Harsh with 9, Mills with 8, Johnson with 7, Roche with 6. On the other side, it was Richard Bland. Kawa had 20, Howell with 15, Anderson with 9, and Jalen Smith had 7. Well, that will do it for us here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today as we have tried to keep things going on this Dragons Network for Howard basketball games. Not able to have them at home at all this year. We'll do our best to bring you some more action throughout this 2023-24 season on the road. On behalf of everybody in the Howard Community College Athletics Department, a big thank you to CCBC Catonsville for hosting us and allowing us to have this stream today. Final score in Catonsville, Maryland. The Howard Dragons, 78, Richard Bland Statesman, 60. We'll see you next time.